All right, let's jump straight into this FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifier between Jordan and Algeria. If you're a fan of those gritty, back against the wall comebacks, this explainer is going to be an absolute treat. We're looking at early shocks, intense physical pressure, and a squad that just literally refused to pack it in. So here's the ultimate question, right? How exactly do you flip a World Cup qualifier on its head in the second half when your back is firmly against the wall? Well, we're going to break down the visceral momentum shifts, the tactical tweaks, and one seriously standout individual performance that changed the entire complexion of this match. To make sense of the chaos, we'll track the action chronologically. The opening phase, the first half action, and then that dramatic second half finish to see exactly how this 2-1 victory unfolded. First up, early chances and near misses. Right out of the gate, the pressure was just relentless. Jordan, in all red, got us underway and immediately set off alarm bells. Almardi launched a header that flashed agonizingly wide of the post. Then, Alto followed up with a stinging shot, forcing Zidane to make a massive, confidence-building save through traffic. But listen, Algeria didn't just sit back and absorb this storm. They answered back instantly. Maza whipped in this dangerous pullback across the face of the goal, and Zidane had to be razor-sharp to deny Al Amari on the follow-up. It was heavy-hitting, end-to-end action from literally the opening whistle. Amidst all this early chaos, one guy really started to dictate the rhythm, and that was Algeria's Amin Gary. He was a constant, lurking threat out there. He wasn't just running, he was intelligently probing the Jordanian defense. He pulled off this lovely turn right into the side netting. Half the stadium honestly thought it went in. And shortly after, he drops this highly creative flick to keep the defenders completely guessing. He was letting them know right away they were in for a long night. But against the run of play, Jordan strikes first. If we look at this sequence, you can see how quickly a game can flip on a tiny mistake. It starts deep with a perfectly weighted ball over the top aimed toward Riyad Mahrez. But, international football is a game of incredibly fine margins. A sudden miscue in the box caused absolute chaos for the center backs. The communication just wasn't there. The ball diverts toward the net, and Nazar Al-Rashan is perfectly positioned. He reads it beautifully, capitalizes, and smashes it in to put Jordan in front. That one goal changed everything. Putting Algeria in a 1-0 deficit completely altered the psychological makeup of the match. Suddenly, the pressure and the weight of expectation on Algeria was magnified tenfold. But Algeria didn't fold. Actually, they instantly found another gear. But Alev provided a razor-sharp touch from Azah, who unleashed an absolute rocket from distance. The Jordanian keeper, Abukara, was forced into a desperate, diving save to push it away. The rebound was frantically scrambled clear, but the warning shot was fired loud and clear. Algeria was awake and they were hunting. Which brings us to the Algerian equalizer, a massive turning point. This all came down to flawless set-piece execution. When the margins are this tight, dead ball situations are everything. Bentaleb curls the ball in beautifully, forcing the Jordanian defense onto their back foot to concede a corner. And then, the maestro himself, Riyad Mahrez, steps up. He delivers an absolute peach of a cross right into the mixer, perfectly meeting a towering header that is just driven decisively into the back of the net. And just like that, boom, it's 1-1. The momentum is entirely reset. Man, if you're in that stadium, you could physically feel the massive energy shift. The roar from the Algerian supporters was completely deafening. Just this sudden, massive surge of belief washing over the stands. Green and white flags waving frantically everywhere. It really proves how quickly a World Cup qualifier can flip when a team perfectly nails a set piece. Now, on to sealing the comeback. Gary's moment. Before we hit that final goal, we've got to talk about Amin Gouiri's relentless impact on this game. His threat level was off the charts for the entire 90 minutes. From that early dangerous turn-in shot we talked about, to those creative little flicks setting up plays in the final third, he was just a constant, agonizing thorn in Jordan's side. He was constantly dragging defenders out of position. Every intelligent run effectively foreshadowed what he was about to do next. He totally earned this. Which brings us to the climax in the dying phases of the match. Shabi strikes the ball incredibly well from distance, sending the Jordanian defense into an absolute scramble to block it. This initial chaos lets Amoussa launch a secondary delivery, dropping a really dangerous ball right back into the box. It's a messy scramble, bodies are flying, the ball could literally drop anywhere. But who is perfectly positioned? Amin Gouiri. He calmly turns in Amoussa's delivery from point-blank range to claim Algeria's second. That second goal is the definitive statement of the night. It cements a phenomenal, hard-fought comeback
and transforms what could have been a catastrophic dropped point into a monumental victory. Just listen to the raw emotion of the commentators' call here. Algeria coming from behind in the second half. Jordan 1, Algeria 2. It perfectly captures the thrill of this turnaround. The stadium just erupted into absolute pandemonium. Picture it. Players rushing the corner flag, piling on top of one another, the bench completely spilling onto the pitch in pure jubilation. It wasn't just about taking the lead. It was this explosive release of tension, a huge testament to their grit and total refusal to back down. Which brings us to the bigger picture. In a high-stakes tournament where a single dropped point can literally change the destiny of a nation, what does a resilient 2-1 victory like this signal for Algeria's future? Well, it signals immense danger for the rest of their group. They've proven they have the tactical flexibility and the mental fortitude to survive a storm. I'll leave you with that thought, because comebacks like this, they remind us exactly why we love the beautiful game. It is never over until the final whistle blows.